Hey guys, alright, long time no see. Sorry for the belated art video. It was kind of difficult to be able to record this, and I'll tell you why. It is pretty much at the end of June, and the California heat wave is riding high. Um, we've had record temperatures of about 107 up in Los Palos, and so it's been hard. I kind of want to This is the part where I tell you it's like, it is hard to do commissions during the summer, especially in my room. We have to keep the AC on to a minimal extent, and so it's like you can only run it for maybe 20 minutes tops. You can't run it all day. My family's particularly stingy about it, and sometimes we can go on for hours without the AC running, and so I'm basically sweating to death in a sauna while I record these videos. But unfortunately, a job must be done. So even when I'm melting like ice cream in my room, I still gotta draw my commissions. I mean, a job is a job. You still gotta do them. So there's no complaints there. But it is a bit of a chore. So I'm revisiting the JR one. Mostly because, as I noted in the YouTube community post, I guess I accidentally deleted the one I was supposed to put up. Um, yeah, the thing with OBS is that the videos, when they were done recording, they come out in the date they arrived, and I guess my wires got crossed. So as you can see, like here's what you missed, unfortunately. And here's what you got, or what JR got specifically. And I promised to kind of go back and just say, well, here's what I fixed, but unfortunately, there's only so much I could really do because I'm thinking about just skipping ahead and going to the next possible commission. Uh, Granted, I'm also going through a lot of insomnia right now, so mm, I'll try and get as much done as I can before passing out. It's been difficult to sleep. My room is so broiling hot that I think I've only slept for maybe like 2 or 3 hours. I got a lot on my mind. I'll just say that much. But the noticeable difference here is that you'll see that the eyes were fixed. So let's go ahead and like do a compare and contrast here. Maybe like in doing this, I could also kind of like maybe improve my own artwork as I go along, and you could kind of watch me do it and walk and something like that. But I do want to at least get started on DJ Axis's commission starting now. So I'm thinking what I'm doing is that I'm going to at least, at the time of this writing, I'm going to be putting video game videos up on Tuesday just so I can, put all the art videos into one folder and record them in advance, starting with this one as like the precursor, and then go from there, go to one video at a time, and then just, put them all up on Tuesday. This is a way for me to get organized and get my shit together, more or less. I've been kind of the summer being as bad as it is, and with my room being as bad as it is, I tend to fall behind. And the same person would probably say, "Hey, I'm going to be away all summer. I could use a break, and just take it easy, take probably not even do commissions at all, but money must be made." um, but I am also going to take this time to let you all know that I have a Kofi account that I've had for the longest time right now, um, mostly for donations' sake. So if you don't have to, obviously I'm not going to beg you to do this because I'm doing pretty okay commission wise, even though I work pretty slow. That's entirely on me, full honesty. But you are welcome to at least pitch in to kind of help, you know, keep this thing afloat. Just I could do. I know people have told me like, hey, you could do a Patreon, something like that. But I've never. I've had a bad experience with Patreon. Well, not. I shouldn't say bad experience with Patreon. More of like, I never really knew what to offer. It's like I'll put it to you this way: the last time I had talked about doing a Patreon, people had actually talked me out of it because they need a hook, something. It's like, hey, if I'm going to give you this money, what can you give us? And I figured, well, comic book updates for my webcomic, or previews, little art books of my characters, and I thought that was a good idea, but I was actually talked out of it because it didn't feel like the price. There might have been a miscommunication because it sounded like I was actually being talked out of it, so I kind of just like, oh, okay. But the other problem was that um, when I talked about it on DeviantArt at the time, this was like 10 years ago, people would be like, oh, do I have to? Like, it was like, you give it to for free. Do I have to pay you the money? So it was just like, it felt like people were just very much disinterested in it. If that makes sense, it's like as the artwork continued to grow and improve, people were just like, well, why give him money when you could just get it for free, And so it's just like, so I relied mostly on commissions. Um, I wouldn't rule it out, but I have to get my shit together first before I can consider that option. Um, but I will leave the link below in the YouTube video comments. So if you ever feel like, hey man, I like what you do video wise, whether it's gaming or drawing, I'll spot you $5, $10, 15, 20, I don't know. Just something to kind of help me out here. It does take a toll on me. It would help kind of lighten my load a little bit so I don't have to frequently do commissions. My basic understanding is that I'm doing these to kind of say, hey, I haven't forgotten about your clients. I'm still doing it. This is to kind of help me focus on stuff like this. Um, so yeah. So what you're looking at here, I guess to move us back on track. So the one on the left, actually, let me actually. I shouldn't put that in the instance alpha. Let alone change. Move. Okay. The one on the left is the one we got in the final product. I feel like the eyes are a lot better. I feel the nose stands out a little more. It's a more on model. Things are cleaner. The one on the right is the one that had a little bit more problems to it. I didn't really like how it came out. So we're going to do like a bit of a compare and contrast here with JR's character. Just so we can line it up. There isn't really much to go on. It's mostly because it's just like, well, what do you do when like a third of the video is missing? Because again, I couldn't keep track of the dates. It shows how kind of, I wouldn't say disorganized it is. It's not so much disorganization or things like that. It's sort of more a case of just like went to the wrong place, deleted the wrong videos when I thought they were done. Alright, so let's try to line it up here at least. Yeah, alright. For the most part, yeah, you can kind of tell the difference there. Thicker eyebrows, eyes look a little bit more natural. The mouth looks a little bit more. It's got more personality to it, if that makes sense. Let me see here. But more importantly, the foot is the one I had the most trying time with it initially. When the last video went off, I was trying to figure out how that was going to work, So thankfully that was resolved. And then you compared it to essentially what was the one that was giving me problems with the the stock photo image right there, which is the one that JR gave me. took a little trial and error to get it done. Can't say, looking back at it now from like a later perspective, I'm not particularly. I feel like I could have lowered that foot maybe just a little bit more. In fact, I might actually go ahead and do that. And it's like I wish I could. Again, this is what happens when you accidentally delete, the important videos. It's like, yeah, lower it down just a little bit. So let's go back here. So I'm actually going to send this to JR when it's all said and done. Like this foot's meant to be a little bit, facing like that. I'm essentially just kind of going over what the initial thing was supposed to be. But I am a kind of a stickler for, just trying to get things. I don't like missing out on. I don't like missing out on, what do you call it? If there's a gap in the videos, I will go out of my way to go back and fill in the gaps. This is especially true for FNAF coming up, which I also have to record. I have not been able to do that as of this writing, because there's a chance that by the time I say this, the video will already be up and recorded. But when GeForce broke, that actually put me in a bit of a spiral, because it's just like, bruh, like, did nobody bother to look into that? Did nobody fucking bother? So it's like, bruh, come on. So, alright, I'm trying to align this just right. Alright. Going back to this, the one part I do like is that not the belly. It's like certain elements applied here. One thing I like about JR's characters is their uniqueness. They feel like characters you can kind of get behind in a comic book or even an animated movie. This feels like a character I could see in like a fun little furry webcomic. In fact, I kind of encourage my friend JR95 to get into webcomics if he has the time and patience for that. Retail does take a lot of work, but hey, if I can do it, at least for 6 years, he can too. So yeah, I can even, I'll even show you step by step. I'm trying to make up for essentially what you all missed. There you go. It's like the nose is a little smaller. You have to forgive me. I am recording this at 6:47 a.m. in the morning. All right. Make the nose a little bit bigger. I'm basically kind of reverse engineering what I was doing. The things I do, man, I tell you what. Alright. No other crazy man would go back and reverse engineer their own video, I imagine. Things like that. And then you want to make the eye a lot bigger. More rounder, smoother, things like that. Alright. Also widen this a little bit. I feel. Or at least put it in a position where it made sense to me. Like that. Mouth was obviously going to be a big concern. I wanted her to, it'd be a big grin. If all this sounds silly to you, I apologize. Like, again, I need to keep track of my videos a lot better. That was pretty much the more pivotal change, I feel. Making the eyes a little rounder, fixed up the right eye, touched up the nose a little bit, made it a little bit bigger, positioned it ever so slightly. Let me see. Actually, now I'm kind of like looking at this like I'm kind of like critically assessing anything else I could have fixed. Like, I could probably do this. There you go. Yeah, it's... I don't know. You could say this is a waste of a video, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like... now I'm looking at it. Let's see. Honestly, looking at this now, it's like... I feel like what I can also do is just kind of... Because it's like she's got that curved... It looks curved right there, you know? So... Keep this one straight. Now, I don't know how the audio is going to sound, so I'm kind of taking the risk here when I say this. I put on one of those SNES 1 hour things from SNES Truck. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. Like, I don't know if a 1 hour compilation of old video game music will get me in trouble. Yeah, let me see if I can... Ultimately, I'm going to have to apply this to the updated version and send that to JR. Let's see. Thin it out a little bit more. Make that a little more pronounced. I don't like how this part stood out, at least to me anyway. Then again, I could be making a an anthole into a mountain. What do they call it? Mountain, molehill into a mountain. I forgot. Now, what is that phrase again? Okay, here we go. Mountain out of a molehill. Is that how you call it? Yeah. There you go. Alright. So looking at that, I think that's the direction I'm going to go in. Just to kind of straighten out the leg there. Although it does kind of look like she's sticking it a little forward. At the very least, like, kind of broaden it up a little bit. There you go. So having said that, mind if I borrow... You know, how do you go back and retrace your own steps? Well, you got to do this. All right. I guess you could treat this video also as kind of like critically assessing my own art, or also to kind of make up for the fact, you know, I'm trying to get my art groove back on. I don't want to tween it. Just right. Oh boy. All right. Trying to match this. Just to kind of give myself a little bit of closure too. All in all, I hope you guys are doing okay. Hopefully you're staying hydrated. You know, drinking plenty of water and relaxing a little bit. Um, I have been doing okay. We did unfortunately have to cancel the. I don't know what Flash did, but it's like it doesn't look normal anymore. Maybe it's just the way that comes out. I don't think I'm messing up my own picture. I'm just trying to see if I can make it to look even better than it was. I am my own. I might have mentioned this before. I am my own worst art critic. You know, it's like you think you have it done, and then you look at it again, and you're just like, I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing okay. We did have to cancel the Disney karaoke thing. My friend Samson got sick. Um, Not terribly sick, but sick enough to where he couldn't do it. It was from we went to it was the Ferality event. He caught if I remember right, it was a sore throat, something like that, and it just wouldn't be the same. There were some other outlying factors as well, mostly due to my friend's mental health. I want to make sure they're okay, and it's just like actually, I kind of want to say like several people I know kind of opted out because of just stress from in real life factors, which also kind of it was a bummer. It was unfortunate, but their health comes first. I would never say hey, they should have been there, and it wouldn't be the same without Samson or Nate. It's just like they're my friends, and I don't want to it wouldn't feel right to not include the people that were the most hype about it. It's like, yeah, we could have did it with B Meister and Orcus and Sprite and a couple other people, but that's the thing. It's just like at the very last minute. I think we had one my buddy Final Draft. He had plans when we did reschedule it, and that's why I ultimately decided. I was just like, you know what, all right then. It's like all three people that were the most excited, it just couldn't make it. And I mean, we could have elected for a part one and a part two, but I wasn't sure. It's like I told everybody on the night that I found out that more and more people were backing out. I was like, well, what's the plan? So I was like, well, when three of your friends opt out, the ones that were really excited and had make major plans to do stuff, it just didn't feel right. And I was just like, all right. We, all things considered, considering the heat and the high stress levels that all come with summer-related issues, well, yeah, May was for the best because it's like, honestly, the summer heat is making me extraordinarily frustrated. They are certainly not helping, and I don't like it. It's just all right. I am trying to expand upon what was essentially like making up for. This is my way of kind of making it up to you guys. I apologize for this. I'm just as not happy as you are. Like it's I am only human. There's a lot to remember, but I take full responsibility for kind of oopsie daising this and kind of like missing out and kind of fucking up the lack of a video thereof. Shit, I hate it. I guess another problem that we've been happening too is, on top of the YouTube ad blocker war they got going, or they call it the YouTube ad blocker war. Yeah, apparently, my friend Samson knew this, but I had to go back and take a look at it myself and just kind of remind myself, like, yeah, he's telling the truth. So apparently on Saturday night, certain videos can't be played on the media player, and I kind of bitched about this on Blue Sky, so you probably saw it. The only reason I didn't mention Saturday night by name is because it's like they recently just joined. Um, they recently just joined the Blue Sky, and I didn't kind of want to throw them into that like immediately, but it is Saturday night. But yeah, so on Saturday night, you know how they have the media players, like you buy the little mock TV set or whatever, and you can watch YouTube videos. Well, what used to work, at least as far as I remember, is that when you use it, you could put on, whether it's your video or a Mr. Beast video or whatever tickles your fancy, right? And it would work, as far as I know. But now there's errors coming up in each of these videos. You can't watch a certain thing, and it got traced back to codecs. The codecs in this is like somebody actually they compared a video recording that they made of their friends, and their video didn't work. The video that they made, and then but there's like a codecs thing that you can look at. You can find it on the Pixeltel forums, but basically someone actually broke it down, looked at the specs of the whole thing, or some kind of whatever it takes to look into that. But the TLDR that they boiled down to is that YouTube changes the standards for how you watch videos, especially, well, in particular, Saturday night. On VRChat, it seems to be fine. I don't want to jinx that. But it just, on Saturday night, it's weird because it's like, so in my condo, and I'll make a video about showing off how my new condo looks if you guys are interested in that. I set up playlists. For ambiance music, Jurassic Park, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, things like that. And those all work. Those are videos that have gained at least, I don't know, like 100,000 views, as far as I know, last I checked. But so I set that up. But in another room, I'm dedicated to not necessarily like a shrine, but a nice little history museum piece where it shows me and my friends when we first started the channel, the beginnings of what would become the GNC server on Discord and the YouTube channel. But the idea was, I put the PS4 here, and there would be a TV, and there's like pictures of us in GTA, right? But when you start it, would open. I want to assemble a playlist of all our videos from 2018 to 2019, and that's also to coincide with the fact that I'm actually thinking about ditching my former channel and just downloading everything from Google Takeout, and putting it on the main channel. Quality be damned, but it would just kind of be like, hey, I'm preserving all our cool stuff, and but the point I'm getting at, just so I don't want to ramble, is that so I go to the TV, right, and I'm putting in. I made a compilation of our stuff from 2018, 2019 in the very beginning, right? And compilation 1 didn't work. It has 21 views. It says there was an error in the playback. I'm using the URLs. The internet connection is fine, so there's it's not all that. But we put it in there. It doesn't work. Compilation 2 only has 6 views. It's just us playing GTA. They're old, so you only hear my voice. But you don't hear Zach or Ollie or whatever, because this is like December 2018. But that video works. but not the other stuff that has like 3 views or 7 views or 9 views. But so according to that thing on the Pixeltel forums post, YouTube changes their codecs or whatever. They change their little whatever code, whatever tools they use. I don't know. I am not a computer person. I couldn't possibly fucking tell you, but it's like that's what they wrote. There's the algorithm or the something that changes it up. So you can only watch certain views, and it got me pissed because it's like, what kind of dumbass company does that? And I'm not talking about Pixeltel. It's not Pixeltel's fault. It's YouTube. It's like, why do you need certain views to have your own video play? It's like, if I'm sure the reason that there's probably a simple answer. I'm sure maybe but when you look at it at the face value, when an idiot like me looks at it like that, when somebody says, "Hey, you need to have X amount of views to play your video," it's like, what? Now I can't play the shit like I made. Like, it's like I can't watch my own footage back to me for other people to enjoy. It's like, what if I want to watch my old clips from 2018? What if I want to enjoy that stuff? If I bring in, my friends D or B or Orcus, to Tarry Night, and I show them the video, and it's just like, well, they can't see it, and I can't see it. But it's like, why? Why do I need to have Mr. Beast levels of view counts just to enjoy the media player? And I hope they don't go after other games that have that vibe, where you can put a little movie player and watch YouTube and things like that. It's like, why? It's like, I don't know, man. Like, YouTube is quickly becoming the biggest asshole I have ever seen in my entire life. It's just like, bruh, what are you doing? Are you just trying to piss off as many people as possible? I don't know. It's dumb. But yeah, I don't know. That's just been on my mind. I had to kind of get it out of my system. It's weird, dude. Yeah, I apologize for going to a chance. I'm trying to kind of extend this video somewhat. We'll try to add like some minor touches and maybe polish it up just a little bit more. Next time I'll try to not fuck up, and not delete important videos that were not supposed to be deleted in the first place. Yeah, that was completely on me. I got lumped up in the wrong folder with everything else, but that is essentially kind of what you miss. This was just to kind of show you, well, yeah, I blame myself. I am not perfect. I can only remember so many things. I feel like I learn way that's why I try to ask people to kind of help me fill in the gaps, for like, whether it's kind of the video editing, things like that, but I don't make enough money to pay them, unfortunately, so I got to do this all on my own. And so I know YouTube wants short form content. You got to make it 5 minutes or less, or 20 seconds or less. You got to make you got to make the goofy O face to look like you got kicked in the dick. Like, I played Minecraft and this happened. Ha ha. It's like, I don't do that shit. No, that's not my thing. But that's what you gotta do. But long story short, yeah. Word to the wise: don't delete your videos. Don't keep them organized. Make sure you check the audio before you start. That is a common problem. Make sure that the audio is working. My friend Faye unfortunately went through that. I sympathize greatly because I know how it feels. It sucks when you record something and your mic is turned off by accident, or it doesn't pick up the mic audio. And second piece of advice is make sure at least on OBS, forgive me, on OBS's case, keep everything in a specific folder and think before you delete. Make sure you watch every second of it. Make sure that everything checks out because you can't undo it. In my case, it's like I started a part 1 and deleted a part 2, and now you're seeing a part 3, which is just me doing this. I will try to make it up to you in that I'm going to be recording the DJ Access Commission. This is one that I've really been excited to do for a long time. It took me so long to get to it. I've just been very busy. It sucks. Money runs out quicker than it should be. And my low prices also have been a major factor in it. And then there's, is the heat, lack of sleep, things like that. But at the end of the day, I hope he likes it. So I think it'll be a good time for me to get some sleep. But I had to make this video at least to kind of, because I promised you this, so I'm going to record all of my art videos today, and then put it on the channel every Tuesday. At least get 2 or 3 hours worth of art videos in, give or take 1 hour, assuming my head doesn't explode from all the stress. The videos will be back up, and yeah, so anyway, I will catch you all later. Pleasant dreams if you're going to bed at this hour like I am, like the insomniac that I am. And you take care. Be safe. Love you guys. All right. Bye.